Hey guys, it's Christy, and today's video is a collaboration that I came up with and invited some friends to do. It is a fall collaboration. It's welcome to the fall. Welcome to the fall. Welcome to fall. This will be posting on the first official day of fall, which I believe is September 23rd, if I remember correctly. Who knows? So what this video is you're literally creating, you're doing a craft, a DIY of something fall. I kind of fudged a little bit on my own rules and did Halloween, but it can also fall into the fall category. I actually made a pair of Haunted Mansion ears that I was sending to a friend for a Haunted Mansion box swap. And I was like, why don't I just record this and use this as my fall video? Normally I do like fall decor and things like that because I have a lot of fall decor that I've created and I love my fall decor that I've created. However, it's not very Disney-esque. It's just kind of like fall decor in general, and these are Disney channels that are participating in this fall collab. So that was my thought process of why I was going to use the Haunted Mansion ears DIY for my fall collab. So that's the reason why I did it. I made fall ears last year. I didn't want to make fall ears again this year, so I did Halloween ears or Haunted Mansion ears, and they turned out way better than I expected, and I want a pair for myself, so I'm gonna have to make me a pair too. I'll have to go get more product before I can. I use like this kind of cute little flowery looking thing, and I have to get another one of those if they still have one. But anyway, so here is the fall collab. I hope you guys enjoy it and let me know what you think at the end. So to start with, I actually use cardboard. You can use foam. There's all sorts of different things you can use, but I use cardboard. So I just take a box from any kind of Amazon box or whatever kind of box I have been receiving stuff in. And I have two different sizes of ears cutouts that I use, and this is just like a clear plastic that I purchased from Hobby Lobby, and I printed out a template off the internet, which you can just Google and find Mickey ear templates. They come in different sizes. These two sizes, I use one for the cardboard part of the ear and then one for the fabric, because you always want your fabric to be a little bit bigger. So what I did was I literally just traced out my paper onto the clear plastic. That way I could put it on the cardboard and transfer it to the cardboard pretty easily. I usually use just like a marker, but these are actually, they're not paint pens. They're like pens that you draw on things with. Well, I'm struggling today for sure. The pens, they are things that you would draw in, like say you got a vase, a plain vase from the store, and you want to draw on it. Instead of using acrylic paint or paint pens, these pens have like a shimmer to them, and you would use these, which is probably why you see a little bit of shimmer while I was tracing all when I was tracing the smaller ear template out. So the smaller ear template is what I use for the cardboard. I trace out 4 because I'm going to stuff each side to put them together and have it stuffed on both sides. Some people don't stuff both sides of their ears. Some people do. I do. I like them fluffy. Note that it does make it slightly heavier because the more things that you use to make your ears, the heavier the ears get. So once you've traced those out, you obviously cut those out. If you want to go ahead and cut out the fabric as well, you take the template, the bigger template, and trace just the round part, not the curved part, and then you'll cut around it because you want to have like a little flap there to be able to close up the circle or the ear shape. So once they're all cut, I then take the cardboard in the fabric, and I line it up, and I hot glue around the edges and pull tight with the fabric, leaving the bottom open where the little curve is, like the moon shape, because that's where we're going to stuff it. So once that's done, I then take the polyfill, which is really just kind of like cotton, and I pull it into pieces. I want it very small because you only want to fill it a little at a time. If you fill it too quickly or too much, it will bend your cardboard, which would kind of mess up the ear a little bit. So I do it very slowly. I usually use like a pencil to push it in, but I don't think I had a pencil at the time. So I use the end of my scissors, which is fine too. And I just kind of move it around in there just a little bit, make sure it's not too lumpy. And then once I get it to the way I want it, I then fold over the extra flap over the back of the ear and glue it down. If there's any excess, I just cut the edges off so that when I go to put the ears together, they are glued down to where there's no like lumpiness, if that makes sense. I think it does. So once you have all 4 earpieces complete and glued and ready to go, I typically match them up to see which ones best align. Because, you know, when you're cutting, you're not exactly perfect with cutting. And then once I have figured out which ones I want them aligned, I glue them together. I align the edges of one and then in the center, and then I literally just stick them together, making sure they're lined up nice and good. And I typically stick it under my leg while I'm sitting there to kind of make sure it stays together and it doesn't separate. And then once that's done, I do the other ear and I stick that under my leg. And then I go back to the ear that was first put under my leg to put the trim around the ear. So the trim, I literally just measure out what I need. I make sure I fold it under the moon shape just a little bit so that it's not sticking out. And I do that twice, one for each ear. And then I slowly glue all the way around the edge. I do a little bit sections at a time because I want my lining to look lined up and not just slopped on there. So I do that with both ears, and once they're done, I then attach them to the ear. I'm going to make a little note right here after like when I attach them to the ear. I forgot to put the lining around the ear itself at the ear at the headband level. You don't have to do that. I do that to make it more secure. So I actually did that at the end. So to attach them to the ear, you can use a ear template or you can use a pair of ears you already have and just kind of gauge it and line it up to where it fits. You then want to put your glue right under the moon shape. I always put it on the moon shape and then attach it to the ear rather than putting it on the ear and putting the moon shape part of the ear to it. To me, it just works better that way. You could do it either way. So once you have that, you want to either hold it in place. I usually hold it in place for a minute so it dries, and then you can do your trim like I mentioned before, which I didn't do it that way because I forgot, but that's okay. The next part that I did was instead of a bow, I'm using this black flower because these are Haunted Mansion ears. It's just a hair clip I got at Hobby Lobby for $2.99, and I just decided where I wanted to put it, and I literally just glued it right in between the ears. I thought about gluing some of the little feathers down to the ear to make it more secure, but I decided not to because I knew that I was adding the little white trim in the back, and I thought that that might hold it down better, which it did, so that's really good. So after I glued that on, I then took the white trim that I had and I just kind of folded it up to where I thought it would fit best onto these ears right behind it to make it a little like Haunted Mansion-esque, if you will, pretty much pertaining to the costumes that the cast members use. And I literally just folded it up and glued the one end down onto the back of the fabric, and then literally just put glue on the bottom of it and attached it to the headband, and then it was done. And now back to the trim, because I meant to do the trim around the bottom of the base of the ears before, but I forgot, and which is fine. It looked fine without it, but I wanted to add it just for some extra security to make sure that the ears are on there straight. So in order to do that trim, I just kind of moved the little feathers out of the way and I cut some trim out and just put a little glue at the base of the ear, not the headband, because if you put it at the headband, you might be able to see the glue. So you want to do it at the ear level. And then I just wrapped it around very carefully to make sure that you couldn't really tell. I knew that I had cut a little too much, so I had to cut the edge, and then I just kind of tucked put a little glue on it and tucked it between the lace fabric, and it worked out just fine. And these ears turned out so cute. I want a pair for myself. Melody, I hope you really enjoy these ears because I want them. All right, guys, that's it for this tutorial. Let me know what you think, and thanks for hanging around. All right, guys, that was my fall or Halloween DIY on Haunted Mansion ears. I really, really love how the Haunted Mansion ears turned out. I wish I could just showcase them right here for you, but unfortunately I can't because I did send those off to my good friend who I'm doing a swap box with in October. Hopefully she doesn't watch this video before opening her package. She probably will, because she may not get it until after the release date of this video, mainly because she's in Canada. So hopefully, hopefully she doesn't watch the video before opening her package. I really hope she doesn't. Maybe I should just give her a disclaimer, like a private message, don't watch this video. Who knows? All right, guys, if you want to see pictures of the ears, I did post them on my Instagram. I haven't as of recording this, but I will post them on my Instagram by the time you see this. You can go check all my ears out on my Instagram. I've been doing a series, if I'm not already done with it, I've been doing a series of ears that I own. I did throw these in there with it, but I don't own these. I actually made these for someone else. So I did put that disclaimer down in the picture if I posted it by this date. I don't know if I will, because then I gotta make sure she opens the package beforehand. But anyway, go check out my Instagram for all my ears. It's right here. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a good one. Bye now.